Experiences are telling you, basically in a different way, if I say it, the seeker in us starts asserting what exactly is real. Non seeker normally asserts the pleasure outside, attachment outside are real, and they get swayed away by it. So we can say, just take an example, let us see it practically. Close your eyes. You are looking at the normal position of the body. You are listening to me, and everything is casual, normal, at ease. Is person number one in us. Now you see the person number two, a deliberate, a seeker. Mind is seeker is nothing but the intellect by discernment asserts. What it asserts? Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. You are my father and mother. Means the origin of my birth is you. Now see person number three also come. This is person number two. You are deliberately, consciously asserting that 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 Shiva or the Krishna is my parents. So one is the person number one, normal, easy. Person number two, of a seeker. Now what happens to person number three? Person number three is prarabdha, past impression, impulsive nature, attachment. So when you say you are my parents, the person number three says no, I already know my parents. I already know how good or crazy they are, and all those impressions burst into our mind. A seeker is one who continuously, deliberately asserts, I know that, innermost self, that Shiva and Krishna are my parents. So the moment you succeed in that, it takes your mind to another level of vision, which you explained in the form of vision of the trees and other stuff. And that is why we say it is okay, keep asserting, keep asserting. So now see that person number one, two, three. Common name of these three persons are ego. Oh, ego, yes. But person number one, casually you wake up in the morning, you don't have any reaction, or just you are watching the room and yourself, and you wake up and went to the restroom, come back, oh, casual. That casual is also delusion, because we think we are. Now person number three has lot to do with its impulsive nature, with its habit, with its memories, with its attachment. No, I have to meet that guy tomorrow at 10, and that will be, the business will be finalized, all those stuff. So these two, person number one and three, they have a default setting. Person number two does not have a default setting. It is a conscious navigator. It is the seeker. Why? Seeker reminds us through Mangalacharan. Through Mangalacharan, seeker reminds us, or through the principles. But yes, in the beginning, that is why Master lays tremendous stress on that we have to start with the Mangalacharan every day. Now see, Tvameva vidbandhuscha sakha tvameva. O Shiva and O Krishna, you are my friends and you are my sibling. So what it is doing, it is asserting over attachment to any sibling, any friend, any relationship, that you are my sibling, you are my brother, you are my sister, you are my friend. Oh. So this asserting is not in a reactive way, asserting that I know who am I, why should I be attached? So you are removing the impact of the person 3. And person 1 is so casual. No, life is not casual. We have to consciously undergo a journey. Person number 2. Yes, we have already studied it comes from the discernment, dispassion, etc., etc., etc. But here Krishna directly asserts to remain as a seeker. And then he comes to Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. You are the giver of the knowledge and you are the knowledge. I translate in that way. You are not only the knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is consciousness. What is consciousness? In name and the form it is Krishna outside. Without name and the form, inside is the innermost self. So you are the dearest to me. You are asserting. When you assert consciously, or it happens naturally, or by Mangalacharan, or by any step in the meditation, it blasts. Blast means the name and the form which had been causing attachment, duality, and a conflict drops down and dissolves. Oh, that is what happens, yes. And then Tvameva sarvam mama devo devo. The moment we say attachment, we are attached to so many things and people in terms of their relationship, in terms of their utility, in terms of their pleasure seeking or pain avoiding, millions. But what the Master is saying from Eva, Sarvam Mama Devu Devu, all my attachments goes to you. Why? You are the God of all the gods. Oh, you are the God of all gods. Many meanings. One meaning that wherever I am attached, they are also gods and goddesses. But now I have only one God where I have to be attached. So the moment your person number 2 does it with 100%, I would say, mind explodes. It is something like mind is attached. It is like a balloon, and with your intention and aspiration, you are God of all the gods. You are filling the air into the balloon. It reaches to a point where it blasts and you drop all the attachment. So dropping all the attachment and moving into the higher consciousness in the beginning leads to unusual visions, unusual experiences. What should we do? We simply accept, be with it, and let it come down, and let it come down, and then we are absorbed into that state of meditation. So this is another explanation. You can open your eye. That is what happens. All the waves dissolves. It is only the water. It is the unmanifest presence. That is what happens in the journey of a life of a seeker. So I will talk in detail about these person number 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, possibly we will explore it, will help you to recognize what is happening, and it also helps us to move ahead.
Then on a basic level, I usually just say, okay, am I involved? Is there a me in this situation? How do I take me away? Right? And then it's the other, I guess, I want to say where I remove myself and then I'm just present with the other. But I constantly say, wait, am I doing some subtle ego? Is this for me in any way? How do I take me out of it? If I'm upset, obviously it's about me,
Yeah.
right? Or else I wouldn't be
You see,
upset.
that is the word means bhajan or devotion or surrender. So, in all these words, what exactly our conscious mind is doing? Conscious mind is asserting loyalty to the innermost self, loyalty to the Krishna, loyalty to the Shiva. Why? I have already understood that is the ultimate reality. But why I am asserting the loyalty to the Shiva and Krishna? To get rid of my attachment, to get rid of my delusion. What is that delusion which causes it? Person number 3. And person number 3 causes the delusion, person number 1 accepts it. And when it accepts it, it speaks out. It says, no, no, I love you so dearly and you are not taking care of me. Finished. Person number 2 is dissolved. It disappears. But in the life of a seeker, it does not. Life of a seeker, it is always there. It's a burning. So Maharshi Raman used to say it is a flame of aspiration. Aurobindo says it's a flame of aspiration. That flame is not affected by the wind of the person number 3. Symbolic. They give beautiful expressions, that is why we always use them. They are the great masters. So you see that what happens, but in the life of the 5 types of non-seekers, namam dushkratino, the first level is evildoers, those who engage in unrighteous actions by choice. What happens? It takes your movement, thought, speech, and action to the person number 3. The person number 3 becomes so dominant, then you forget discernment. No, hold on, I need not to worry, need not to react to my honey. I will just talk. No, that level is gone. Now I want to harm. Enough is enough. Let's have divorce. What the hell? So the first category, I have to recognize these attitudes should never come in the journey of my self-discovery. And then I know what I am doing. Second category, mudha, the deluded, foolishness. Intellectually capable, I'm capable intellectually. I will go into detail. I'm capable I know what is right, and still my delusion takes over me, my foolishness takes over me. Lowest of the men, the third category, those who waste human potential on material pursuits. Maya prahar, jnanat, those whose understanding is distorted by the delusion. My understanding is distorted by the delusion. And the fifth, demonic character, atheistic, we can say arrogant, hostile, spiritual, against the spiritual principles. So you see the common thread in all the 5 is the fundamental detachment from the Shiva or the Krishna or the higher existence or the real self. I don't want to even think of it. Even somebody has told me there is something more than the physical body. I don't go beyond it. I told you the example of this guy who lives nearby you in Paradise Valley. That guy whose wife was pregnant and who has to deliver the baby, and then he explained to me, I'm responsible father, so responsible father, so you cannot treat the path of self-discovery. Where is the problem? Should I say it? No. But why? Krishna says, don't say it. We are aware.
Also,
we know fully.
Was he saying because he won't have time because he has a newborn baby, or that he doesn't want to tread the path because he'll be a father? Which one was it? Is it both? Or is it, which one is it? The baby or the being a father?
So, you don't...
What was he afraid of? I'm curious.
I understand, but you don't want to understand. No, because I'm a father, so I have to take care. No, you are evading, you are deluding yourself. You are deluding yourself. There is nothing more than that. You are hostile to the spiritual principles. Because I know in society, when you say that, my wife is delivering baby and I need a time, I have to be present over there, so nobody will challenge you. Okay, go there. So why should we do it? We are also very clear about it. Our Master Krishna says, never ever disturb those people. They still have more time to suffer, and once they start suffering, they will recognize they may come in this birth on the path of the spirituality, or they may not come. So the first category of evildoers, detachment through deliberate unrighteousness. They don't want to. Bad deeds. Dushkratam literally means bad deeds. These individuals are defined by their actions and the negative karma they accumulate, which creates a barrier to the spiritual growth. They accumulate, constantly accumulating. At least, this guy has dropped this bad deeds. I gave you the example of, these are the real life examples we experience, we understand it, and I use in different sessions. The guy who found 3 cute and beautiful girls, and now in the 4th one, he sends an email, very crisp. This is detachment, this is delusion. When I recognize it, I dropped it, and I'm happy. Wonderful. Today in the morning I read it. I said, this is a beautiful poem. Person number 2, asserting. When you assert and then check. After asserting, you check your experience. I'm calm and relaxed. Finish. But Dushkratam, the first category of individuals, represent the most active form of detachment from the journey of self-discovery. I gave you the previous example. So we say, yes, we are good. Their non-seeking is not due to ignorance or delusion, but stems from their conscious choice to engage in unrighteous actions. That includes what you have to do delivering, your wife is delivering the baby. Let her suffer and let her enjoy, and then you go and show respect and love. That is all. By deliberately, so you are deliberately acting in the ways that are not aligned with the journey of a life of a seeker, and then you are suffering.
What about, there's prarabdha that must be lived, right? And then there's maybe karma that could be avoided if one becomes a seeker. Is there, because even if you're a full-blown seeker, high level, you're still going to have prarabdha.
Yeah, but now that prarabdha you have recognized, it doesn't cause you any problem. Person number 3, impulsive nature, prarabdha, the deliberate action you choose, everything comes under the person number 3. Now they dominate your discernment. Now let me think, my wife is delivering a baby, but then I can fix another time, schedule it, so that I can continue my journey. Now you see, person number 2. So that person number 2 is missing because of your prarabdha. Why? Because you are a non-seeker. Do you want to be a seeker? Do you want to listen to the teacher and the principles? Yes, I will continue. So you are keeping that prarabdha away. Prarabdha is still there. It is generating a force, but person number 2 is asserting, and prarabdha is diluting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I could see it wouldn't create new karma either, because you wouldn't carry it, you don't attach to it, right? It doesn't affect you.
It doesn't affect you. The second category is mudha. Mudha means foolishness. Foolishness, detachment through spiritual ignorance despite your intellect. You understand. You know it. You are intellectually capable. But my intelligence does not guide me towards the journey of a self-discovery. I suffer from profound spiritual ignorance. Like a scientist who dedicates their life solely to material research, never considering the deeper nature of the consciousness. No, I don't want to know. No, I have a lot of things to do. I am very busy. And academically, you are a successful student who dismisses all discussions of the spiritual or philosophical truth. Especially it happens in Harvard and MIT, and that is why they ultimately commit many suicides. We have already heard the news. They don't want to know themselves. They want to know everything of the outside. That is what we say, the foolishness. Why I want to know everything outside? Because my mind is totally obsessed that is going to give me the pleasure and happiness. Third category is the lowest of the men. Why the lowest of the men? I am engaging myself into animal activities. I just want to leave my human potential. I have a capacity of self-realization, and still I don't want to go for it. My life is eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That is all my life is. That is my... Now that guy, the Indian guy, who used to say that, last year he told me, but this year he has totally changed himself. Today in the session, morning session, last year he said, do you need to say that, I should remain detached with my wife and what will happen to the needs of the wife? I said, why don't you take care of yourself? Needs of the wife. So you have a dream that, now that your wife needs this and that? It is happening in your mind. And today he said that the more we live in Satoguna, how he gives the interpretation. The more I live in the Satoguna, I have wonderful, healthy relationship with my wife. And I recognize that it was me who was seeking some attachment that was not there, that is absent in my mind now. And then I have such a wonderful and healthy relationship, even without any sensual attachment. And he shared to the entire group. He said, this is wonderful. This is what the master is seeking. Master is wanting in the life of a seeker. So you embody the detachment of wasting the immense potential on the material pursuit. You squander the unique opportunity afforded by the human birth. So he always talks in that line. His communication is not very good, coherent, but whatever he speaks little, people understand it. And he says that I live into that state 24 by 7, and whenever I find there is some problem, I look at what is happening to you, mind, where you are attached, where you are deluded. And when you are deluded, you are going down. He explained this verse of the Gita. He has yet to study it. So that happens. Knowledge is inside us. What knowledge is inside is what Krishna is putting systematically in the Gita. The fourth category is that detachment through the distorted understanding. You distort your understanding. Knowledge has been stolen by the delusion. Knowledge is stolen by the lower prakriti, lower nature. It is a cosmic delusion, what we say the Maya. I have a spiritual understanding, I can explain it, but it is stolen by the delusion. It means perception with the projection. Projection has a mental looping of likes and dislikes, and I might number of likes and dislikes, pleasure-seeking movement. I'll give you the same example. I received the email from this beautiful woman. She wrote to me that, I could not understand for a couple of years what did you mean by not changing anything outside but changing everything inside. And I was missing having a drink with my friends, having to communicate with my relations. It was a big problem. But today, knowledge is revealed to me. My relation called me. I went there. We enjoyed the company. We communicated, and I returned. And I realized that my mind was not seeking anything. So you are asserting. Person number 2. No, nothing seeking. Let me go there casually. Now I have realized what did you mean by it. Intellectually we understand. But realization takes time and it depends on prarabdha. Again, go back. That is what. And the fifth category, detachment through the active hostility and rejection. Oh, there is nothing in the religion. I'm a spiritual person. Did your life change? No. Then what is the meaning of that? You are a spiritual person or not a religious person? Those who claim that I don't go there, religious stuff is all crazy stuff. So you are already, first step, you are already hostile against the presence of the divine, any event, it may be any God. Why shouldn't I go? I told you that just very near Higley Road, Higley Road, no, the East Chandler Heights Road. There is a very big church, very big. So I said, oh, let me go there and spend some time in talking to the priest. The assistant priest came out. He said, no, you're not allowed to go into the church.
The Mormon church, probably.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like outsiders.
I can invite you to my home. I said, why? What the hell I will do with inviting you? No, I just want to go and I want to enjoy my God there. No, you have to understand first, and then you can join this. Lot of donations you have to pay a lot of donations. Then you can become the member, and there is a membership card. So you have to swipe that card before you enter into the church. He said, okay, that is good. So, yeah. So what?
Carlene and I, we were driving through Colorado and I saw a Buddhist monastery, a big Buddha statue. I said, look at that, let's go see it. So we go there and she says, we can't be here. And I said, of course we can be here. This is everybody's, and she thought we were going to get kicked out because she's used to, Western kind of like your situation. But nobody bothered us. Walk around,
Yeah,
got to read the plaques, listen to the chanting, see
yeah,
the
yeah,
statues,
yeah. That is the
and nobody
beauty.
cared, right? It
That is
was
the
nice.
beauty.
It was
So why we study this? Because we have to guard ourselves that we are not a non-seeker at any point of time. Any point of time. So it means what? In the first category, dushkritam, evildoers, I should not consciously to choose to engage in unrighteous action at home, in business, in society. That is what, normally all religions teaches. But here we get a reason, we get a understanding, because that person number three will become active. What kind of a evildoers are? A person who intentionally harms others out of spite, individual who deliberately cheats in business dealings for personal financial gains and fully aware of the dishonesty. I am fully aware of the dishonesty and still I cheat. A person who chooses to steal despite understanding the moral implications and the legal consequences. So you see the moral implication, legal consequences. Legal consequences, law of the land, and moral implication has to do with the religion. But Krishna never says that you follow me, you follow any religion. He gives you a right reason why it happens. It will block your journey of a self-discovery. So when you reflect on this, then we understand that all religion says the same thing wherever I go. I told you that, I used to go to Methodist church and I used to say, oh, my master is there, hanging like the Jesus. Where is the problem? So I should not choose the unrighteous action at any point in my life. It may happen because of my person number three, impulsive nature, prarabdha, but I can break it. I can break it. I can definitely break it. Now there are two parts that I want to cover in today's session that is more important. The first part is that if I belong to the first category, I suffer myself and I also make others suffer, whether it is a family or relationship or friends. This type of a non-seeker consciously choose to engage in unrighteous action. So their deliberate choice to act in a ways that are not aligned with the ethical or divine principle directly leads to harming others. So I'm harming others directly or indirectly, intentionally harm. And now I have harmed intentionally, that stems from a deliberate choice to act in a ways that are not aligned with my self-discovery. So it means I'm blocking, I'm entering into delusion, I'm causing, I practice meditation, I reach to a greater height, I perform such kind of an action, and now that state of meditation may come after a few years. So I'm conscious, very conscious and aware of that. Deluded, second category. Second category, you may be a brilliant scientist, you have been a wonderful student, you are doing your business with acumen, you're a highly intelligent person, everything is okay, but you never considers, even you know it, never considers that there is something deeper within me. There are many people. This guy who seems to be extra intelligent, this guy who is in some medical business, I gave you the story of that whose wife delivered the baby. Very articulate, very clear, intellectual, but still, I'm deluded. I'm deluded by it. It doesn't work. So now think that how you make others suffer, while the sources don't explicitly state what is directly cause suffering to others through their action. Their profound spiritual ignorance means they fail to grasp and pursue spiritual understanding. You're not harming directly, but say, for example, your wife delivered the baby and you are too much attached to the baby, then you will be very tough on your wife. Oh, you did not do this. Take care of this. And the wife says, why don't you take care of yourself? I'll take care of my baby. And then there is a problem. So in that way, not only I am suffering, but I also make others suffer. Honey is doing something, they will learn by themselves. I bought this thing, and it's very costly. Who is using my honey? Who will continue to use my honey? So she misses or he misses using it, yes. Definitely there will be some problem. But even if you are tough on them, it is not going to work. It is not going to work. So I'm suffering myself because I'm conscious. Hey, no, don't do like this. I had that idea very long back. But I remember that. The third category is the lowest of the men. Animal mind. The animal mind dominates. It jumps over everything. I had a good family, good wife, and then I go outside, I look at a person, and I got attracted, and there is a sense of sensuality filled in my mind. Person number 3, whether it's a prarabdha or animal nature, is dictating me. One guy from India, we used to go to the mall. I explained you before. We used to go to the mall, and the moment he used to see a girl, his eyes started staring. His wife is with him. His wife, he used to remind, no, don't do this. Okay. And then again he used to stare. And couple of the times, those girls used to slap on him.
Really staring.
Yeah, it was a real scenario. So at last the wife said, we are not going to the mall, especially with you. It's a prarabdha. He's one of the, I would say he's one of the greatest real estate developer in India. Who sells the property worth beginning amount is $10 million. Extremely intelligent. He goes through all the details. He has been my student for many years. This thing happens. Lowest of them. You are intelligent in stealth. So you make others suffer and you also suffer. And then once you start analyzing, no, that I should not have done. And then he used to come to me, this is what happened today, and what should you do? So that is why the master Krishna is a great master. I don't know how he recognized these traits and how come he explained to his great student Arjuna. He is making us aware that you recognize. If it happens by prarabdha, it's okay. Then you can take a correct action. You can take a correct action. That is all. The fourth category is knowledge stolen by the delusion. What is this? A person who, despite you have studied all the text, you follow the journey, and then now you convert these principles so that your desires of seeking pleasure fits into your life. That is a very serious problem. and we normally don't recognize in the beginning. What if I went for this thing? What if I have done once? That once is dominating your person number three. That is one aspect. Second thing, that once a seeker, always a seeker, my master used to say. So now you see the opposite side. What is the opposite side? Once a seeker, always a seeker. What is the opposite of this? Oh, I'm a seeker, I'm already enlightened. My prarabdha is pushing me. My ego has taken an action. All the actions are driven by ego and attachment and self-serving motives. And then I say, no, I'm enlightened. No, I know. What is enlightenment? So, to maintain that level of humility, always once a seeker, always a seeker. Why? So seeker reminds that Krishna is the highest, or Shiva is the highest, teacher is the highest, for me my master is the highest. A person who is convinced that material wealth is the ultimate sign of divine blessing. Definitely. One thing that it is the sign of a divine blessing, but it is not the ultimate sign. So if I see the ultimate sign, I have a spiritual poverty. Spiritual poverty. Outer riches, I used to give a talk in India. Outer riches, inner poverty, inner bankruptcy. Inner riches, you can balance, you can make your life better in the personal, professional, social, and spiritual level. So it doesn't mean that if you treat the path of spirituality, you become a billionaire. Yes, because of prarabdha you can, but your ego is not. Person number three is not pursuing the path to become a billionaire. But if you have a highest altar, I want to help billions of people, Swami Chinmayananda. My only mission is to establish as many centers, and that center should be a center of learning, center of wisdom. How? So that I can pass on. So he made a systematic structured study group in the beginning. He collected around 40 texts, and then there is the 3-year training in India on these texts. So after 3 years, there is a 5-year gap, there is a 10-year gap. I would say there are more than 1,000 monks are there, spread over 350 centers around the world. Now, they don't claim that, we have 350 centers. Other masters, I have centers all over. They don't claim. That is another way to do it. So that is another way, so that keeps you away from. Otherwise, you are not directly causing the suffering to the others in this category, but your perception, your comprehension is distorted by the illusory power, by the delusion. And this distorted understanding can lead to a flawed interpretation of reality. You can misguide people. You will not stick to these principles. You will not give reference to these texts. You will say, I know everything. No, not possible. I had a doctor in Phoenix, used to go to her the way I used to come to you in those days, early in the morning, around 6:30. She said, I said, I'm ready, I have no problem. So, but why you always give reference from the text? He said, now her big ego is saying, I should have asked her a question that do you teach? She is a professor of some from the medical field in the university somewhere here. Do you teach any subject without any reference? It came from your birth. So I had a smile, but that question was there in my mind. So I had a laugh. I didn't ask her. So and then we said goodbye. Fifth category is demonic nature. Demon, an individual who actively mocks and ridicules the spiritual belief. Krishna or Shiva is the innermost self, the lower nature and the higher nature. Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, you show me, then I will believe it. You show me the electromagnetic field, and then I will believe it. But we have understood at the causal level, the matter is nothing but the electromagnetic field. That is why the science has understood the quantum physics, and they have applied these principles to make the quantum computer. Still you cannot see it. So the same thing happens here also. So at the causal level, I cannot perceive through the sense organs. But it is there. The impact is there, the effect is there. You understand and apply these principles, but demonic nature mocks, ridicules spiritual belief, extreme arrogance is there. Okay, you are going to the church, okay, go there. When you come back, then we'll have a drink. They don't think. Arrogance, extreme arrogance. Krishna says, don't say anything to them. Don't want to try to prove it. If you want to prove it, you will be in problem. Why? You cannot prove in a negative way. Look at this. That is also an understanding of being a non-seeker. No, never, never. You suffer yourself because you'll be hurt. Why don't you understand? I'm telling you, no, unless one is ready. In the beginning, this happened with you also, but gradually changed.
I read something Maharaj said once. He said, "The only man who can help another is the one who is beyond all need of help." Right? And I thought, okay, that's a good judge. I'll keep my mouth shut until that day. And even my daughter said, "Why do you never talk about anything? I see you read and meditate. People always talk about all this stuff." I say, "I think my dad," and I said, "Nah, that's just a personal journey, right? That's an individual journey." I said, "If you ever have a question about something, you can ask me, but I don't have anything to share. That's mine, you know."
There are other friends in my category here, and they don't know exactly what I do. I just give a life coaching, and that's all. I just give. So you help people in relationship. Yes. Finish. I just avoid it. I just try to finish. I say what you do. You are doing a great job. I just move their mind to themselves. Not at all interested. Not at all interested. We have to live. Why? Because then you become very simple and easygoing. Otherwise, what will happen the moment, I'm a spiritual person. Oh, look at that spiritual person in a mall. They will make a mockery of you.
No, I told Sophia, I said, "Have you seen me? I can't walk around saying I'm spiritual. I'm a fool. I do a lot of stupid things. Imagine how much you would judge me if I told you I was some kind of yogi or something, right? I still have a lot of work to do. I make no claim."
We have to be, we have to express that way. We have to be very clear. I always remember I told you, once a seeker, I'm always a seeker. But when people recognize, I told you Anne Hoffman, who is 90 years old, she is also a silent. She has never left one session every week since 2008. Exceptions are there when she goes back to Germany and Europe to meet her relations there. So I am already guiding her. She has reached to that stage and she is very happy at the age of 90. Because she changed, the impact of that change is on her kids, on her children. So one of her son is working in New York City as a psychotherapist. So I gave a couple of sessions, 10 sessions when I was in New Jersey. Now you see Prarabdha. He said, no, I will follow this mind, brain, and the consciousness stuff. So he did a certification of counseling. He became a counselor. He is into that profession. His wife is a great digital marketer. So I had a long chat. And I could see a deep respect for me. We already had 3 and 4 conversations. So it is the impact. Krishna says, hold on yourself. Impact will always be there. Impact will always be there. So hold on. Just continue your journey. When that spiritual consciousness starts manifesting into your body, instead of the prarabdha, when the pressure of the prarabdha goes down and the pressure of that manifestation goes up, people, those who are definitely will have something.
Mm-hmm.
You will have something. So you need not to worry about that how people recognize. Consciously so you see that mudha we have done, they are described. So to drop, so these are some of the characteristics we should understand, we should recognize. This is why we are studying, so that if something happens and comes to because of my prarabdha, I don't do it intentionally, but if it comes due to the prarabdha, my impulsive nature, let me take a corrective step. Let me take a corrective step. That is very important in our journey. Now come to the 4 types of seekers. Now 4 types of seeker, common element that there is some God. I don't know. There is some force. There is some intelligence. People communicate. Look at the Krishna who guided, Gita was guided almost, I think, 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. No, look at it. Now look at the 4 category of seekers in the present world. So now you compare it. So Krishna says that any form of the God or divine element or some existence that is beyond body and the mind, you believe in, you are believing in me. So some people say, oh, after all, there is some force, there is some intelligence, there is something beyond us. And they remain intact with that faith. What it is, they become seeker. I want to know it. No. So the 4 category of the seekers is also very interesting. It took me many months to understand clearly and appreciate. So the first category of the seekers is artha, those seeking help in times of suffering. I am suffering a lot. First thing that I remember, God help me. And I mean it. I cry for the God to help me. Normally we cry before the boss, we cry before our honey, we cry before those who have a lot of wealth. And if I am a head of the executive head of any country, then I cry before him or her to find a cabinet position. So that is, but here, artha means that I cry. I say, please help me, God. Please give me money. Yes, at least I'm aware of that existence. You help me. Calling out for help during a crisis. it is the beginning of a journey. So at least I know, I believe that there is definitely something who is taking care, and that is what Krishna says is the innermost self. Shiva is the innermost self without the name and the form, with the name and the form in the temple or in the church. Very good. You understand the comprehensive nature, the way the Krishna puts everything. So it means what? I go to the church or the temple, religious, not I'm a religious person. I'm basically a spiritual person if I'm seeking help internal. So there are many people who claim that. But there are other people who try to show some magic. Come on! Are you excited? I will show you how Jesus or how this God, etc., etc. We already have many organizations in US and in every part of the world. So now the ego has taken over my field. That is the problem. They will never move ahead. Will they not earn money? Yes, they will be able to earn money. Many musicians are able to earn money, so what's the problem? Second category.
I've seen I was going to comment, money is, it's always there if I need it. I don't really care to accumulate it. I make it in the company, but it passes wherever it passes to. I never find myself thinking like, I'm going to make money, I'm going to get rich, I'm going to save on that. I don't think about it at all. I just do my thing.
Yeah, yes.
It's such a different, just such a different experience.
That is the
and
life
so free.
Of the seeker.
No stress. So free.
Your prarabdha, your social consciousness, you say, or your society outside says how my daughter is going to do. Did I have those thoughts? Yes. But it has been taken over by the conviction that the Shiva and my master will do everything rightly. So that conviction helped me to guide them. They both are independent. Son is pursuing the spiritual path along with whatever he is doing. Daughter is also pursuing, but not in the intense way. It's okay. It's a part of the journey. At least they are not disturbing me, and I'm not disturbing. They are doing good. That is also because of the blessing of the Krishna. Why shouldn't I take it? So the first category, that I am in distress and I am suffering and I seek the help. Second category, that I am doing very well financially, economically, socially, personally, professionally. Everything is good. So I want more possessions by praying to the God. That is the second category. That is the second category I am seeking. So the existence also helps them. Third category, that I am seeking who you are. I am not seeking what you can offer me in the first two categories. Third category is who you are. And I know who you are, then my previous two problems will also be solved. Look at it. My master used to say, why you seek what power God and Shiva and the Krishna possesses? Why don't you seek Krishna and the Shiva so that all powers comes to you whenever it is required? But that is a very tough journey. We have to constantly guard ourselves not to become a non-seeker in the 5 category. Then in the first 2 category, there are times, events, and the problems will definitely be there in the worldly life. So what we should do, how we should treat our path, that needs to be constantly contemplated and reflected upon. The more and more reflection we have, in the problem is also an opportunity for me to remember Shiva, innermost self, and see, let me put this problem before the Shiva to solve it. We can do that, we are solved. For us, the Shiva is the ultimate, the highest altar. That is the highest altar. For me, my master is the highest altar. That he is the highest altar. Oh, you take care of it. Anyone has a problem, I have a problem, you take care of it. But still, you communicate rightly, communicate into your mind. Why? Because that will take you to the person number two. How you communicate rightly? I had my mind, my intellect says this is the solution, but still I have a doubt. So I'm offering this problem, I'm offering this solution to you in the meditation. Let me take care of it. Forget about it. After that, you forget. And see what happens. It takes time, it takes a lot of practice, and gradually you reach to a point where it's just in a fraction of a moment you can just offer all the problems and opportunities. Normally, you know the word prasadam? Yes, you have attended couple of sessions or what? Yagi Vasudev, I remember now. So you know it. So one great devotee of my master, who is almost 80 years old, he makes it a point that he sends the prasadam to me from India to US every 3 months. And he calls me, did you receive it? So when I receive it, I divide into a couple of parts, and I send to my daughter, I send to my son, and I send to a couple of people. It's a very small dry fruits, but I divide them. I make it a point that no, yesterday I sent them. It's only a matter of that faith. You have a tremendous faith. It works. It works. It has to work. So the fourth category is you already know it. You already know all these things, and you treat your path, continue to live, you continue to perfect each and every point in your life. The man of knowledge, constantly united with me, means what? Krishna says, means you are constantly, consciously aware of that Shiva or the Krishna or the innermost self in all your activity. Your knowledge, Shiva is manifesting the knowledge for you through me as an instrument. Finished. So even if you start thinking in that way, gradually your mind is purified to the highest level. My honey appreciated me, it goes to the Shiva because he manifested in me through this activity for her. Jnani, fourth category. So you keep aside your ego, the person number one and person number three. That is why I started with the person number 1 and 3 in this session. So gradually what happens, Krishna says those who know this means live consciously, thinking, speaking and acting to express peace, happiness, love, truth and wisdom in my way of interpretation. Krishna says, I love those seekers too much. I love those seekers. Now pay attention. I love those. Krishna says, I love those seekers too much. It means I should also be full of love and care. If I'm not, Krishna is not loving me. Oh, I have to correct myself. That is the message. Message is totally different. Written language. And then what to talk of Nisarg, that Ramakrishna, my master Rama Tirtha. Oh, you already got a book of Swami Ram Tirth. If you look at his conversation, my master used to talk mostly in the same way. I have his audio cassettes in the same way.
That's why I bought it, to see if maybe I could get an insight into your
my master's, the way my master used to. But he used to be very tough, straightforward, blunt, and same way Ramakrishna also. If you have studied the very first chapter, he gives you the idea that I converted that into a story. My master used to see that this guy who was studying engineering, who approached my master, what you're doing? Oh, no, I study engineering, IT. So what you will do? What will happen? I will get a degree. So what will happen after a degree? I will get a job. So yes, I will get a job. So what will happen? I will build a house. What will happen after you build a house? So I'll get married. So what will happen? I will have kids. But for what? For happiness. Master used to say, I will give you happiness here and now. Why to take such a long journey? Why to take? He used to talk in the way. So you'll find the very first story of Swami Ramtir like this. So I could see the very similarities in his approach. So distrust is the first category, seeker of the gain, seeker of the powers, and the powers of the Shiva and the Krishna is the second category. Seeker of the Krishna and the Shiva is the third category. Man of knowledge is the fourth category. And then you continue to live your life. You start living a life. Overall, your life is full of. One more point I want before I complete this. I'm taking a message from, yes, Swami Ram Tirtha. So the entire journey from a non-seekers to seekers to continue the journey in the third category and gradually realizing and recognizing that awareness, that you have awareness of the Krishna or the Shiva or the innermost self. This is a movement from seeking to being, from becoming to being. Being is knowledge. Knowledge does not need any activities. Becoming needs activities. So as long as we are in the first three categories of a seeker and the five categories of a non-seeker, we have to perform the right action. Then gradually what happens, you remain totally relaxed and calm. You have a lot of challenges outside, but you wake up in the morning with a total reliance on the innermost self, and you will see those problems, they come and they go. So I have to guard myself intellectually, mentally, which of the 9 categories do I currently live in. I should categorize, I did this wrong thing and I belong to this category of a non-seeker. What to do? Contemplate and reflect. Let me promise not to repeat the same thing again. Finished. We take it and then we move to the third category of being a seeker. Third category of being a seeker meditation. I missed that. I will send you day after on Monday or Tuesday. So that 4 types of seeker. So what basically I have to look for motivation. What is my motivation in these 9 type of seekers? Why? To recognize where I'm going wrong, where I'm dictated by the prarabdha or person number 3, impulsive nature, and I should have a corrective measure. And then we move into the last 4 categories. The primary motive is to get rid of the suffering. First category. Second category, oh, let me have more possessions. It means my mind is totally amplifying the outer possessions and relations little more. Third category, I'm looking the divine everywhere. Now I'm looking the divine everywhere. Shiva is manifesting in the name and the form of my honey. Shiva is manifesting in the name and the form of my mother, my daughter, my son, and I continue. You just think and then you look at. Or you look at and then you start just having that. And you see that, oh, Shiva is helping me, guiding me. It may be endurance, it may be kindness, it may be self-giving to them. That builds a good relationship in the society. Why to build such a good and calm relationship? At least the society and the relation should not disturb me in my path of service. We are selfish. We are very selfish. So they should not disturb us at least. Let the Sophia ask you a question and you answer them in a very wise manner and finish it. Finish. But they should not tell you what the heck you are doing, why you are doing. You have a lot of things to do. You are wasting your time. So that level of clarity comes to you, which also goes into their head. Nobody disturbs me, Nobody.